Breaking news we are following this morning. Paul Pelosi, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, hospitalized at this hour after being attacked with a hammer at the couple's home in San Francisco overnight. We do have our correspondents and analysts standing by. I want to begin with CNN Chief Congressional Correspondent Manu Raju. Manu, we are hearing from the Speaker's office about this incident. What more do we know about the attack?
Yeah, we are still learning more about this stunning attack at the Speaker's home in San Francisco. She was not there at the time, but her husband, Paul Pelosi, who's 82 years old, was at the time. And what we're learning from law enforcement sources is that an assailant came in, broke into the couple's home, and attacked Paul Pelosi with a hammer. Now, the Speaker's office put out a statement about what is happening, what they understand has happened here. They said in the statement, early this morning, an assailant broke into the Pelosi residence in San Francisco and violently assaulted Mr. Pelosi. The assailant is in custody, and the motivation for the attack is under investigation. Mr. Pelosi was taken to the hospital, where he is receiving excellent medical care and is expected to make a full recovery. The Speaker was not in San Francisco at the time. Now, we have learned that the Speaker was in D.C. at the time. She has been traveling across the country, raising money, appearing in campaign stops as we head into the critical midterm elections. Sometimes Paul Pelosi travels with us. Oftentimes he does not. He has his own company, a financial leasing services company. He's 82 years old. He was in the news recently. Was pleaded guilty to driving under the influence in August. But this comes also as threats of political violence and actual political violence have been playing out in all across the country as we head into these midterm elections, fears over election workers' safety alike. We don't know the motivation of why this assailant broke into the Pelosi home, whether it was politically motivated or not. That is something that is still under investigation. We will learn more, report that when we learn more about it.
So you don't know whether this was political motive. You don't know if this guy was robbing him. You don't know if this was a crazy person out in San Francisco. You don't know nothing. But you're going to insinuate all this political violence and threats against political. And when they say that, they're only talking about Democrats. They could care less if any threat out there against any Republican.
Brazen and violent assault. Paul Pelosi, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, brutalized in their San Francisco home. Police say this attack happened overnight after a man broke in. The Speaker was here in Washington. Her 82-year-old husband is now in the hospital, expected, the Speaker's office says, to make a full recovery. A police briefing is scheduled for later this hour. We will go there live when it happens. At this moment, we're still trying to fill in the big question. What was the motive here? The male suspect is in custody. The FBI still at the Pelosi home in San Francisco. Sources telling CNN that assailant used a hammer to beat Mr. Pelosi. CNN's Jamie Gangel has been talking to sources and joins us now with some important breaking news. Jamie, what can you tell us?
John, it appears we may actually have the motive, or at least part of the motive. I've just been told by a source who was briefed on the attack that the assailant who attacked Paul Pelosi was actually in search for the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. That before the assault occurred, in other words, before he attacked Pelosi, the intruder confronted the Speaker's husband in their home and was shouting, quote, "Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy?" So, John, again...
Where's Richie? Anybody seen Richie? You got to be a Steven Seagal fan to get that. But so how convenient. Right near the midterms, the Democrats get to play the victim. They're being hunted across the countryside with pitchforks and torches, tiki torches. And I'm sure we're going to hear about rhetoric. Trust me. Rhetoric. They're probably going to hear the word rhetoric 50 times before this video's over. Rhetoric, which means Trump. And then eventually invokes January 6th. It's all so convenient.
Source who was briefed on the attack, who says before he physically assaulted the Speaker's husband. He was clearly looking for Pelosi herself. Quote, "Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy?" John?
Jamie Gangel joining us with that breaking news. Jamie, stand by. I want to bring in our senior justice correspondent, Evan Perez. Evan, you've been tracking what police are learning. What more can you tell us about this investigation and about this just brazen violent assault?
Well, John, we know now that the FBI is still at the scene there at the Pelosi home in San Francisco. Of course, this happened in the early morning hours. If the Speaker had been there, there would have been a security detail from the U.S. Capitol Police. They were not there because she was not at home. They got there very quickly, and now we're told that this is an investigation being done jointly by the FBI with the Capitol Police and the San Francisco Police Department. And of course, the big question that I think Jamie is beginning to help answer is, why the FBI would be involved, and this perhaps might explain it. If the assailant was trying to carry out this attack in search of the Speaker, if there was some kind of political motivation, perhaps those would be the reasons why the FBI would be playing a big role in this investigation. Again, we're expecting to hear a lot more from the police at this briefing in later this hour, but it does begin to sort of help answer the questions. They know who carried out this attack. They're doing their investigation, and they're getting a sense of what brought this person to the home. It is a male person who was arrested there or detained by the police. Again, there's still a lot of questions as to how he got into the house. It appears that he came in through the back of the residence and then carried out this attack. There are a lot of very important questions still as to what brought him to that location, John.
Evan, stand by as well.
David Depape, Paul Pelosi's attacker, a Castro-supporting nudist transient from Berkeley, California. But they're going to paint him as some right-wing fanatic. I don't know how you could be conservative and even live in San Francisco, stomach it. That's torture. That's sadomasochist. To be a right-winger and live in San Francisco, Berkeley. Let's see how the media plays this, though. Because the media, they control what people think. So it won't matter what the facts are.
Gotten a little bit of a better picture of this suspect. Some of our fantastic team on our investigative team here at CNN has been looking into his social media presence. They've talked to people around him, people who know him, and they paint a very disturbing picture. Somebody who has been obsessed with everything from political themes, 2020 election, for instance. He's been posting YouTube videos concerned about the 2020 election, as well as the January 6th investigative committee, the House committee that's investigating the January 6th attack. There are some religious themes on some of the videos and so on he's posted on social media. And again, it sort of gives you a little bit of the picture of why there is now this investigation that involves the FBI, as well as the Capitol Police and the San Francisco.
So this implicates Trump. This means Trump. This means they get to go after Trump. They get to silence Trump. They get to bully Elon Musk into not letting Trump back on Twitter. They get to make outrageous claims against Trump. They get to bully Trump supporters. They get to castigate and brand Trump supporters all types of evil, nefarious things as a whole, as a collective. They get to put out a narrative that, oh my God, we have to be on the lookout now, man. Oh my God, it's everywhere. They're coming for us. Safety is priority number one. And they get to weaponize the FBI, IRS, and all these other government agencies against Trump and his supporters. Because, somebody emboldened by Trump's rhetoric just went into Nancy Pelosi's house and beat her husband with a hammer. So now we get to act like they're all doing that. The specter that is around the corner anytime they're around. Be careful for this. This is a wicked. They're wicked. They're wicked over there on that other side.
Police Department, as they're trying to get a handle on the motivation. It's clear now, certainly from what Jamie Gangel has heard from her sources, that the attacker went there looking for the Speaker of the House of Representatives. She was not there. Obviously, she was. If she were, her detail would have been there with at the home. But she was not there, and so that's the reason why the police, when they arrived, there was no other security, and they interrupted the attack as it was ongoing. Again, a very scary scenario for an 82-year-old man fighting off an attacker, now identified by police as David Depape, 42 years old, we're told, and someone who was posting very actively on social media with a lot of conspiracy theories, everything ranging from COVID origins to things related to the January 6th investigation by the January 6th committee there in the House of Representatives, Anna.
And an acquaintance telling CNN that he seemed out of touch with reality.